Hello, and welcome back to my first ever attempt at the Year 1 Community Center Challenge. This is the fourth and final episode in the series, so be sure to check out the other 3 videos if you haven't already. Now, on to the winter season. On the first day of winter, I get one of the last items I need for the community center almost immediately, as I find a snow yam while digging up wormies on the farm. It's also a rabbit day, but unfortunately they only produce more wool. Once my chores are taken care of, I make my way up the mountain to fish for a sturgeon. After a few casts, I manage to catch one. While I'm there, I decide to catch a second one so I can put it in a fish pond later. On my way down to the community center, I find a crocus. I donate that and the snow yam to the winter foraging bundle, which completes the craft room. Then I donate the sturgeon to the lake fishing bundle and finish the fish tank as well. On my way to check for nautilus shells on the beach, I accept Robin's quest to collect and deliver 80 hardwood. The beach only has a single sea urchin to offer, so I decide to head to the sewers and pay Krobus a visit. I gift him a pumpkin for his birthday before heading back home. Unfortunately, I already chopped my respawning hardwood stumps before accepting Robin's quest, but I still have a few fallen trees left on my property. I take care of those, then pop down to the secret woods to get the hardwood there. That night, I discover that if you complete 2 community center rooms in one day, you only get the cutscene for one of them. The next morning, I plant the winter seeds that the Junimo gave me just to have a little something in the ground, and I spot a shadow person by the bus stop, but they run away upon seeing me. Before I go to address that, I take the minecart to Clint's to get some geodes processed, and to drop off my watering can for upgrading. I find an ornamental fan while scouring the beach for nautilus shells, then head back to the bus stop to investigate the shadow person. I follow their footsteps to their hiding spot, and they hand over the magnifying glass that they apparently stole. From whom, I have no idea, so I just keep it for myself. While chopping more hardwood for Robin's quest, I find my first secret note, which is just Alex's strength training diet, but I have a feeling that some of these notes will be very helpful. And that night I hit level 9 foraging. After chopping one last fallen tree on the 3rd, I have enough hardwood to finish Robin's quest. Up on the mountain I run into Willy, who gives me a copper pan, and I also pay a visit to the quarry, although I'm actually after wood more than stone at the moment. I turn in the hardwood, then place an order for a shed. I check the beach again and try to go to Marnie's for more rabbits, but just barely miss her. So instead I give Linus a birthday gift and turn in early. The next morning, Robin sends me a recipe for pumpkin soup, which will be very important very soon. I pick up my copper watering can from Clint and immediately turn it back in for the steel upgrade. After donating a few artifacts to the museum, I check the beach once again and find not 1, but 2 nautilus shells. I buy 2 more rabbits, named Roger and Jessica. Then I craft a few bombs and head to the quarry. Once the quarry is cleared, I head back home for another early bedtime. On Friday the 5th, I pick up another round of wool and my shed is done being built. I stop by the mines to meet the dwarf and purchase some bombs from them. At Robin's house, I am greeted by the entire family witnessing Robin's new deluxe bed frame. Despite Demetrius's protests about efficiency, I compliment Robin's work. Seriously, how did she create something this intricate in 2 days? With that out of the way, I can gift Seb a frozen tear, check the traveling cart, and promptly go to bed at 1 in the afternoon. The next morning, I move some of my machines into my shed and pick up more wool. I pick up my watering can from Clint and drop off my hoe to be upgraded. And by the time I finish moving things into the shed, it's nearly 6 p.m., so I head to the beach for a bit of fishing. I catch the squid that Willy has challenged me to catch, and continue fishing to try and get seaweed for a fish pond. On the following day, Pierre stops by to inform me that he will be selling new seed varieties next year. And the luck is still not good enough to warrant going into the Skull Cavern, so I just check the traveling cart and return to the beach. I give Willy the squid and fish for more seaweed. After hours and hours of fishing, I finally get the last 3 pieces of seaweed I need. Then I stop at the saloon to give Emily an amethyst, at Clint's request, but I don't think it worked out how he imagined it would. On the 8th, I am delighted to see that my luck is very good. I quickly complete my chores and suit up for the Skull Caverns, only to realize that today is a festival day, which of course also means that Robin isn't working. Plus, I didn't want my Twitch chat to miss out on seeing the festival. So I quickly chat with everyone and participate in the ice fishing contest, which is totally rigged because while everyone else is already lined up to cast their rods when the whistle blows, I am left standing in the center, meaning that I have to move to even be able to reach a fishing spot. Like I said, rigged. Thank goodness it's another good luck day on the 9th. I quickly pick up my copper hoe from Clint and turn it back in to be upgraded to steel. Then I head to the desert for my second foray into the Skull Caverns. Armed with bombs and the steel falchion I found the last time I was here, I managed to make it to level 25 like Mr. Chi wanted me to. But I'm not stopping there, and no. For one thing, there's a very small chance of these flying serpents dropping a rabbit's foot, and I'm also on the hunt for another extremely rare item. I have a few close calls and end up having to dip into my spicy eel supply more than I'd like, but on floor 42, I'm rewarded with one of the two things I'm looking for.
You seem very stressed in these caves. Well, it's a very stressful place to be. I'll be honest with you. Yes!
That's right. I have my first prismatic shard, and you know what? Gunther can have it. In his dreams! I continue my descent until I'm out of food and bombs, and while I don't find a rabbit's foot, I walk away with something worth so much more. With that precious stone held high, I walk to the center of the 3 golden pillars and find myself in possession of a galaxy sword. And that night, I hit level 9 mining, unlocking the recipe to craft crystallariums at the perfect time. A tidy 10,000 gold is waiting for me in the mail the next morning, and the luck is back to neutral, but I have other things to do anyways. My first iridium bars are done smelting, and I have pumpkin soup to make. I make the trip up to Robin's to order a fish pond and give Seb the pumpkin soup for his birthday. Then I accept the prismatic slime quest from the special orders board. So I spend the rest of the day plundering the upper levels of the mines, killing slimes and duggies as I go. On the 11th, I get a letter from Pierre telling me that if I want to date someone, I'll need to buy one of his bouquets. Sounds like a scam to me. The luck is neutral again, so after refilling the silo, ordering a gold axe from Clint, and donating the tibia to the museum, I return to the mines to keep hunting for the prismatic slime. This time I was in the cold levels, farming iron and coal as I went. The next morning, I get a letter from the wizard requesting a void essence. I spend a bit of time getting more things planted in the greenhouse. Then I put the extra sturgeon I caught in my brand new fish pond. I stop by the traveling cart on the way to deliver the wizard's void essence, and I go to the sewers to buy an iridium sprinkler from Krobus. I still don't manage to find the prismatic slime, but it's good to work on my skills and monster slayer goals all the same. On the 13th, I pick up yet another round of wool in the coop, which means still no rabbit's foot. I return to the mines to keep hunting for the prismatic slime, and at this point, I'm starting to lose my mind a little.
You're all gonna taste my sword. What are you doing? You! Tell me where the prismatic slime is! Tell me or you'll end up like the others! You ended up like the others. Prismatic slime, please come to the principal's office. Your mother has brought you your extra pair of underwear that you asked for.
Yeah. Eventually, I start resetting the levels with the elevator, but even that isn't enough to get me the prismatic slime I so desire. The next day brings more wool and a lackluster traveling cart, and I decide to give up on the prismatic jelly, so instead I bring a maple syrup to the secret woods and make friends with a bear. I pick up my gold axe from Clint and give him my pickaxe to upgrade next. Then, with nothing much left to do, I go to bed at 2 p.m. And of course, now that I don't have my pickaxe for 2 days, the game decides to bestow me with a good luck day. I gather some wood so I can craft a second loom and a few more kegs, then I plant some more cranberry seeds in the greenhouse. At the night market, I watch the mermaid show and use the secret code to obtain a pearl. By then it's already 11 p.m, so I pay the 250 gold to warp home. On the 16th, I give my sturgeon a diamond so they'll reproduce. Then I head up the mountain. I sit in on a Solarian Chronicles one-shot, with Seb and Sam, and then gift Seb another frozen tear. As I'm leaving, I run into Linus while he's foraging. I go to grab my pickaxe from Clint, but of course he's taking the day off for a doctor's appointment, so I just return home and go to bed early. On Winter 17, I get a letter from Clint asking me to smelt an iron bar for him, as if he isn't literally the town blacksmith that gave me the blueprint for furnaces in the first place. But more importantly, I walk into my coop to find that one of my rabbits has finally dropped a rabbit's foot. This is it, the very last item I need for the community center. I grab the nautilus shell, and with the rabbit's foot held high, I make my way to the community center. I donate the nautilus shell, completing the field research bundle, and then the very last item, the rabbit's foot, is donated to the enchanter's bundle, finishing the bulletin board and completing the Year 1 Community Center Challenge. With the last bundle done, the Junimo finished fixing the community center and returned to the spirit world. I pick up my gold pickaxe from Clint, go to sleep at 1 p.m. again, and wake up to a mailbox full of recipes and a notice about the Winter Star Festival. Marnie stops by to ask me to deliver a cave carrot. After giving my animals extra pets for helping me complete this challenge, I wander into town to find all of the villagers celebrating the return of the community center. Lewis commends my efforts and gives me a trophy. Then Morris shows up to see where all his customers went, and Pierre yeets him into the frickin' sun. Last but not least, I stop by Pierre's to buy a bouquet of flowers for a certain somebody. So I completed the Year 1 Community Center Challenge, with 11 days to spare no less. And while I went just a little loopy towards the end, I still had a ton of fun doing it. I hope you all had just as much fun watching this series. And now I hear you saying, but Liz, there's still another 10 days of Year 1 left. You only just got the Galaxy Sword, and you just bought a bouquet that you haven't even given out yet. Well, don't you worry. This playthrough certainly didn't stop here, and I plan on covering the rest of it in a sequel series, how I completed my first ever perfection run of Stardew Valley. So, if you're interested in seeing that, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.